The Titans of...
I don't know.
Welcome. This is Ben,
And this is Joe.
and we are the Titans of...
I don't know.
I do know. Today I know, Joe. Today I know because I'm super excited. Do you know? Are you sure you do know, or do you know?
Oh, I think I know because if it's what if it's what I'm thinking about, then there's definitely gonna be some hype over this one.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. What we were thinking is, with this whole coronavirus and all this, mass hysteria, restaurants closing, businesses closing, state lines closing, towns closing, that we think of ways that you can make money from home.
Now we're talking. So, I mean, I'm in Jersey. I don't know if you know what happened, but the governor issued a quarantine and a curfew. No one is allowed out past 8 o'clock unless they work in some kind of food industry or gas industry or something like that.
That is insane. No, I did not hear that.
Oh, yeah.
I've not heard that at all. The last thing I heard was that they were, Trump just announced that no gatherings of people, like more than 10 people at a time or something like that, and that he plans to kill the virus in 15 days. Like, I wish this guy was half as good as he claims to be, or he thinks he is, because we would be successful right now.
Well,
15 days, he has the plan.
Well, I mean, as long as people stick with that, then that should work because technically the coronavirus is a 14-day virus. 15 days, it would fly. But look, we don't know, and from the sound of it, it looked like the governor was planning on making it even longer. But he said 2 weeks. It might be 4. He kind of sounded serious about the 4 weeks. So this is going to hurt a lot of people. It's going to hurt a lot of small businesses. It's going to hurt a lot of people who work for small businesses. And this is a situation that I don't think I've even read about in history as far as the United States goes. So I'm not sure what anyone really knows what to do in this kind of scenario.
No, nobody does. Nobody does. And I was looking, and it's kind of scary. I'm going to be honest with you. I was looking online to try to find ways to make money, right? Things that you can do from home. And all I kept on finding were like scams, like, oh, get paid to take surveys, get paid to test products. Well, the products have to get to your house. And I work in an industry where we deal a lot with like DHL and FedEx and UPS and stuff like that. And, companies having to ship things. And today when DHL was making a delivery, the guy didn't even want to touch anything. He was wearing gloves. He put the stuff off of his truck. He wouldn't even let us sign his thing, and he wouldn't close any of the doors. Like, he was afraid to touch anything. And it's scary. So you can't get paid to have stuff sent to your house. Taking surveys on Survey Junkie or whatever, that can't really work. I mean, literally staying home, I feel like there's only one way that you could get paid to, do anything. And that's either that's a web service, a video, and it's either you're hooking or you're teaching people how to play music. Like, I can't think of any other way. Or you're teaching somebody to bake a cake, or you're teaching somebody how to crochet, or some kind of video service, or posting videos on YouTube or something like that is the only things I can think of for getting paid. I mean, except for going and delivering groceries or Ubering and stuff like that. But even that you have to leave the house. But I don't know. What do you think?
So, okay. So first, I mean, yeah, I think we do have more options than that. I think sometimes you gotta kind of think outside the box. And it's kind of tough right now because a lot of people don't know what to do. Some people can work from home, and those people who can work from home, they know, they're like, oh man, I caught a break. But in reality, no matter what job you're doing, working from home is only a limited situation, unless that's the way your job has been set up from the beginning.
Right.
So what's happening All right, so yeah, the craziness here, okay, because I'm in Jersey, it's insane over here. People are freaking out. So yesterday, my daughter threw up in the store, right? Just running around, normal kid throw up. She's not sick. She's
Yeah,
just,
because that's perfectly normal.
she just ate. She's running around. This is normal for her, by the way.
Okay.
All right. I know maybe some kids it's not normal, but with her, if she runs around too much after she's eaten, it comes out. So she threw up. I went to go, get some help or something, and the woman goes, "Yeah, here's some paper towels and here's a spray. Go ahead." I was like, wow, people are so freaked out about this virus that they won't even get like the janitor to come and clean up the thing. I went and cleaned it up myself, which, wow, okay, fine. I mean, I wasn't upset about it. I was just more shocked about the fact that it happened, that's happening,
Right.
It's my daughter.
Right, and that's horrible. I mean, like, it's your job. Put on some rubber gloves and man up. If you're going to get it, you're going to get it. It's not like some little kid's going to give it to you. But I mean, and realistically, this is what I'm finding. Like, the only other option is like you could play video games or something, like test out products online. Like, people make apps and you like test out their app and everything like that. But that you got to know somebody to get into that. You got to know somebody in the video game industry to be like, hey, send me a copy of your newest game and I'll play it for 8 hours a day at like $1 an hour. Like, I can't even really think that there's much money in that, but maybe there is. I don't know. The video game industry is pretty big.
Okay, so here's one thing. Here's one thing you could do from home to help increase your income, and that is sell things on Amazon. I know, like,
right, but that's what came into what I was talking about before. The people from FedEx and UPS and DHL and stuff like that, they're not going to be wanting to touch your products. So how are you going to ship them out? You have to leave your house to go and ship them out, and I don't even know if that's possible.
Right. So there is on Facebook, they do have something called, not on Facebook, on Amazon. It's called Amazon FBA, which means fulfillment by Amazon. So what you do is Amazon comes, picks up the product from you, or you ship it to them, right? So that's where it gets a little crazy because of the shipping part. But they'll take it and they'll ship it out for you. So someone still has to do the deliveries, but I mean, I've heard
Someone still has to leave the house.
Someone still has to leave the house. It's inevitable. You cannot avoid the fact that someone has to walk out of the door and go out into public. But if you kept it to a minimum, and you made sure that the people who were leaving the house were not sick, then you should be okay. And my understanding is that right now, all deliveries are not even being handed over to them. They're being left down, and then the person has to come and take it separately. So
right, that's what I was saying. They wouldn't even touch it. They just dropped the box and left.
Right. So it is getting a little crazy, but this is happening around the world. It's like insane what's going on. I've never seen this before.
Canada is closing their border between them and us. They're closed all borders in Russia. France closed damn near everything. I mean, it's getting really scary.
Yeah.
So I guess the gist of it is, if you're a music teacher like Joe, then try to do lessons online. If you get naked for money, find one of those websites and make that money.
You're not gonna have a problem.
I mean, those are the only two legit ways to make money right now. I mean, we have like Airbnb and stuff like that, and people are canceling all the way out until May now because they're like, oh, well, they're expecting this to go on for the next 8 weeks. Can you imagine if you can't pay your bills for 8 weeks?
Yeah, that's rough. And, you with a situation like that, there's not much you can do on that because they don't want people traveling. That's in that kind of business, that's a real issue.
They're going to start limiting domestic travel now too, and I mean, it's scary. You can't go anywhere. I mean, what are you going to do? Drive, but then you can't cross state lines. Like, I might have to go stay in Kentucky just to be able to go to work because they might close the border between Ohio and Kentucky. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, look, when I heard that the NBA canceled their season, because of
NBA,
this.
NHL, MLB, MLS, the soccer, like
As soon as I heard the NBA did it, because they were the first ones, I was like, "What? Holy crap! This has gotten serious."
well, it's because 2 players from the Utah Jazz contracted it.
Yeah, right. And then so
And-
they just, phew, that's it. We're done.
Right.
And then
March Madness, like college basketball, it's like the Final Four, the biggest tournament in like all of college basketball. They canceled it, which is really bad too, because think about all the seniors that were looking for the Final Four tournament to get that national recognition to be in the draft this year.
right.
Like they're killing careers because they're still going to graduate from college this year, but they're not going to complete their senior season, so no professional team is going to see them play. That goes the same for baseball. I don't know what the Final Four of baseball is for college, but it could just have this natural downgrading of all the possible careers. Like all these people that could have been professional athletes this year might not be.
Right. Yeah.
And then we were making a joke earlier that in 9 months they're going to be a huge boom in babies, and they're going to be called the coronials.
the Coronials. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's gonna be our future. We're gonna have lots of babies at the end of the year. It's gonna be awesome. People are gonna forget all about this coronavirus because there's gonna be so many babies around. A new baby boom, Coronials. So I mean,
You heard it here first. If anybody else uses that term, that came from here.
That's right.
Coronials.
So everyone who uses that, you owe Ben $1 for every time you use it.
And you owe Joe $1.50 because he's in Jersey and it costs more to live there.
That's right.
It's even more scary because think about this. If you need to do your taxes and you're not proficient in doing taxes online, then what do? You have to go to H&R Block or go to a facility or something like that.
Hey, Daddy.
Right. Uh-oh. There we go. You're the tax man now.
Hey, buddy. Do you want to listen? Here.
Why
He can hear you. Say hi.
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 What are you doing, ass man?
What are you doing, ass man? He's not the ass man.
You want to know what I'm doing?
Hmm?
No. I'm talking to your dad here.
Did you tell him your name?
Mm-mm.
What's your name?
Looks over Brazilian. See, I have money, Daddy.
You got money?
Oh, he's
Awesome.
got money. We should find out his secret.
Oh, I gave it to him. Awesome, buddy. Keep it in there, okay? How you doing, ass man?
I'm keeping that in. That was great.
Are you the ass man?
I must be the ass man.
These are going to be one of those topics where we're going to need comments. I mean, if anybody has any ideas, we could do a follow-up to this. How can you make money from home besides hooking and teaching music and like tutorial videos on making cakes and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, there's a couple other things you can do. Like, you can do, for instance, you can do tutoring over Skype or whatever, Zoom or whatever these little internet things are, WhatsApp or whatever. Another thing you could do is, here's something interesting that may seem crazy, but someone said this to me and I said, wow, you could probably make some money off of this, which is you can go around to the elderly, okay? Obviously you want to keep yourself protected so you don't pass anything on to them in case they are sick, but you could offer to do grocery shopping for them.
But that
Right.
still involves you leaving the house.
You
Joe.
still have to leave the house, but you know what? If you're young and healthy, I honestly don't think you should be worried too much about getting sick, right? I think you should be more worried about passing it on to others. But if you're healthy and you do the correct precautions to protect yourself against it, like wear a face mask, wear some gloves, make sure you're not touching anything or spreading any kind of saliva anywhere. If you do those things and keep yourself clean, I think you could, and I'm sure like the elderly would definitely appreciate the fact that you're going out of your way to help them. You can make a couple extra bucks doing that. If you're one of those people that doesn't feel like, or feels like they could take that kind of risk, take that kind of chance, and that they're not going to be hurting anyone, that is an option. A few other options is if you know there are people that still have to go to work, like people who are working in the food industry or the gas industry and stuff like that, that need to work, yet they have children. You can say, well, you know what, maybe I can take like 4 or 5 kids and watch them. If you're a parent and you already have kids, you say, yeah, because it'd be weird if you're like some guy who's just like, hey, I'll watch your kids for you. No, thanks. But
No thanks, not at all.
No, thank you. I appreciate the offer. But and then you could make some extra income babysitting for those people that really need to have the babysitting.
Right.
You know, I mean, we could think of. I'm sure if we just sat, we're sitting down. But I'm sure we could come up with more ideas. But please, people out there, you're listening to this. There are people who are in need. If you have any ideas, any suggestions, please, in the comment below, come lay down some ideas that you have to help people make some money during this time, being quarantined. What could people do? What could you do to make some extra income? We talked about Amazon. Might be a way. You know, if you have like an idea for a book, now's the time to write the book. I mean, we're going to have some great best-selling books out due to this quarantine. You know, I'm definitely looking forward. I have some ideas for books. I'm writing some books now. My wife is almost done with a book, and that's about to come out. So
yeah, how not to get pregnant when you're in a self-imposed quarantine.
Quite the opposite. How
All
to
right,
get
so
pregnant.
let us know, people. Have a wonderful day. Try to stay positive, even though everything is going to hell.
Yeah, and next episode is about how to get fresh water when they cut the water off from your home due to the spreading of the coronavirus in the water system.
This is Ben.
And this is Joe.
Have a wonderful night.
Thanks for listening.